This is Mark Farrar with Not Square Design. We're going to go over procedural grass today, and I'm going to show you the intro. If you need any of my information, just pause and take a look. So I'm doing a pretty long video on fixing all the terrain in my beautiful lot here, getting the slope down from the street, getting things smoothed out. And I had to create this island. I already had the island actually, and I had a 3D solid in here. This was created, I think I started this possibly back at X13, but I definitely X14. Now we have procedural grass, and I tried to put it in here, it wouldn't go. So I had to figure out how to get it to go. And that's what this lesson's gonna cover. We're gonna show you how we can get a procedural grass island in our asphalt jungle. And so, it's got quite a few different materials that are surrounding this. And this used to just be a 3D solid in here with grass texture on it up to the top. Filled it right to the top. Didn't look as cool as this. So we do have our nice, wonderful new procedural grass that I placed down here. And now let's show you how to make this island. So some things to note about procedural grass. Used to have a this piece in here, and I thought, well, let's take and change it to the new wondrous procedural grass elements that we have, which are wow, they are pretty spectacular. Got myself upside down here, but we'll get that figured out. There we go. Now let's come in on it, and if I zoom down on this new procedural grass for X15, along the sidewalk and stuff here, pretty nice stuff. And then across the way, what I did is I pulled my grass out of my curb, my old style, from when I built this X14. And then on the other screen, I've got, not that element, but this one. If I open it, you'll see I have procedural grass. And I thought, okay, maybe it's too short. So I started making it taller, and I haven't messed with any of this other stuff because the other side turned out just fine. So what I think I have is a problem with the fact that I can't possibly draw procedural grass on top of asphalt. So I thought, how do I deal with that? This here is just a terrain feature. That's a flat terrain feature. But this guy, I created a polyline and not sprinkler tools, but and then I turned it into a hole. And when I cut that hole, you can see it on my other side here. And there's my hole. And you can look down in it. There's nothing down in there. Oops. I can get to the right spot. But I've even gone under the model and looked around. I can't find anything. So looking at all three elements, now we can see all three. I'm going to switch back to the other screen. And if you look at, when I select this and then I open it, I have now, inside of the hole I cut, put a polyline of procedural grass at its defaults. And you can see it showing up in the preview, but it doesn't grow in a hole. It doesn't grow on top of asphalt. So I'm trying to figure out how to make it grow. So, interesting little feature of procedural grass that I may do an independent video on once, especially once I figure out how to possibly make this work, which may mean I was hoping that when I cut this hole out, it would cut only my asphalt, but it didn't. It actually cut the, that gives me an idea though. Let's delete this. Let's delete our hole. So I no longer have a hole. On the other side it does exist, but here, let's tab. Oops. That's not what I wanted. I want a tab. So now I've got my pavement selected. So you can see driveway is selected. So what if I were to break it and make it go around this area and try and put procedural grass in there. So to experiment with that thought, let's draw a circle. Let's draw a line. I don't know where my lines are going, but hopefully they're there. Oh, I got points. Sorry, I missed it. And draw another line. Come out, and then we'll grab our circle, and we will copy it from point to point. And just to show that this can work, now I'm going to come in here. I'm going to grab my asphalt. I'm going to break it. Now I'm going to break it again. Maybe. Sometimes zooming actually helps you do this. But now I've got my break. Let's bring it out. And so now if I start getting some shape into this, this is how I'd get around, going around that other portion. So I can bring this out to here, and then I could break straight across from there and drag this down to here, create my curves, get all this stuff to start to work out. So I guess I probably want to really bring this all the way down to here, and this one down to here, and actually bring this edge into here, so that when I grab this edge and curve it, and then I bring it out to match that circle, grab this edge. I don't know what'll happen here. What I would first do is probably close this up. So I close that. Now let's grab this. Let's curve it. And if I bring this back to there, and let's go ahead and curve that one while we're sitting here. It's right in the right spot. Let's see what happens. Look at that. So if I bring this back, and then I bring this up, can I plant procedural grass in there? That's the whole idea. So I'm going to rotate my other model around. And let's get where we can see that. So you're going to see the hole is still there, but it's not. We just redid that, but I haven't rebuilt terrain. So I'm going to go terrain, build terrain. And boom, there's our new hole. Now, look at there's the original terrain under there. So I have a feeling. Now I can go to, I'll show you how this works. I'm going to go to terrain. You go to grass bed, polyline garden bed. Nope, grass region. Polyline grass region. The grass region is what's going to give you your procedural grass. Oh, I'm in the wrong drawing. Here, terrain, grass region, polyline. That to there. And nice shape I chose. Make it quick and dirty. So let's make this be our curve. Do the same over here. Curve it. Let's drag that out. Grab this one, drag it out. Oops, missed. Drag it out. And now I'm going to rebuild the terrain. We're going to watch on the other side, and I bet grass pops up. Terrain. Build terrain. Grass. Okay, so what I just learned is you cannot build grass in a hole. You cannot build grass on top of your asphalt. If you want procedural grass, you are going to have to build it. I'm in the wrong drawing trying to zoom. You're going to have to create a hole in your asphalt and then build your procedural grass. If you want the real looking grass like this, then you have to cut a hole to make it happen. Okay, this was interesting because this is not where I need my hole. But when I come back here, I grab my grass. Watch this. If I delete it, there's a hole. So I'm hoping that when I hit terrain, build terrain, I get terrain back. I do. Okay. So it didn't create a hole by doing all that. That's what I was. Now I'm just going to relocate this to be where it should be. I may even rebuild this curb. The curb's kind of, I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter. It'd be kind of cool to actually see how well I can do with this procedural grass. Getting my asphalt out of here and then putting procedural grass in there. Then making it tall enough to pop over the curb. So I'm going to leave the curb alone. If you look at the other side of the drawing and I zoom in on it, when I zoom in on this, it's not straight. It's following actually the scan, and so I think, with the actual real world pour, that it looks pretty good in real life, but throw it into a computer, and you see this slopes down. But I'm gonna leave it that way, and we're gonna cut a hole and put procedural grass in there. But basically, I'm just gonna take, like these CAD shapes. I don't need them. What have I got there? I got the CAD line, I got the CAD line, and I got that CAD line. So I'm just going to take these and stretch them down into this. And because, you could just bring all this stuff down and then make your cuts, reshape it, and you end up, getting something where you want it. And so I'm just going to, just like I did where I closed that hole up here, I'm going to create this shape, bring it down to here. So there will be a crack in my asphalt. That's how I'm going to do it. So I'll be back once it's done. Okay, I believe I've got my shape complete. There's my split. Got this guy down. There's two different types of curves in here. Doesn't match perfectly, but what I'm hoping for is that because I can change and alter the length of the blades, I'm going to get a decent result on my other side. So I haven't rebuilt the terrain yet, so let's kind of watch this happen on that other screen. And maybe even get into a little closer of a view. See what we get. Kind of curious. I'll make it as big as I can on this screen. There we go. All right, here comes the grass. I hope. And we're gonna build terrain. Voila! I have grass. And I gotta say, it's not too bad. My curb's hairy. But I think my overall grass length is outrageously high. What have I got? I've got my grass region selected right now, so I'm going to open it. Let's drag the properties over to that side. So you can see I'm set at like 12 inches. If I brought that back to, let's just try 8 and 12 here and see if that helps. Because I don't want it too short, it's not going to come over the curb. Well, it's better. Maybe I just can't have any at 12 and maybe bring those back to 10 so that they don't exceed the concrete itself. See what that does. There, that's pretty good. I think I might not even get completely cussed out if I were to leave the sink looking like that. When it's done shaving. So that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Yep. Now it's down inside the curb. So I could lower the curb, but I think as I lower the curb, I'm probably going to get these little speckles that you're seeing right here popping through. And I think that'd be messier than, because we're always going to be looking at it from way up here anyway. And at least it matches whatever I pick for my blade coloration over here. If I want to lighten it up some. In fact, let's do it over here. Let's come over here, and let's render this real quick. Just throw on the real time. So I'm gonna kick it into my real time ray trace, and it looks pretty good. Yeah, boy, that is definitely out of favor. That is gone. So that's how you do it, folks. If you're trying to get grass in the middle of your parking lot or whatever, you've got to create an island of pavement out there. That's the way I did it, was an island. I guess I could have had pavement come from here up into here and had separate pieces for this and then maybe a separate piece over to the building. But instead, I do have one contiguous chunk of asphalt that goes everywhere I need it. So, not bad. Not bad at all. So I got to work on this wall. We'll be doing that next.